guys, it's Hillary from Little Apple Pilates. So, it is. Woo, well, let's get. I'll take that one. So it is whew, it is a Thursday morning. This is the week before Kansas State University starts their schooling, and it's such a big milestone for me. This is literally like the go time 2 years ago before I opened Little Apple Pilates in Manhattan, Kansas. So I wanted to do a video talking about what opening a Pilates studio looks like, because I did one a long time ago when I was just trying to figure it out, and now we're running the 2-year marker, and I am so proud of what the community has done. I'm proud of myself, and that was something I wouldn't have said before. And so I just wanted to kind of do a reflection and maybe do some tips to help my clients are leaving. So good morning or good afternoon or good evening whenever you're watching this. I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. Okay, so first things first, let me tell a little bit about my story, and I'll try to recap it because it's really helpful to kind of get the big tokens of things. I moved to Manhattan is not a very large city, but it is a college and military town. So first things first, when I picked where I wanted to go, I wanted to go somewhere with a growth mindset, because if I would have gone somewhere that would have been really foreign, people would have been like, I don't know what that is. And let's be honest, if you have food on your plate and you don't know what it is, you're not going to just jump on to eat it. You're going to ask questions. So when you open a business, you have to accommodate. You have to answer so many questions, and that's going to take up so much of your time. And time, a little bit is money. Like, you need to invest your time in building that. And so what the gift here is that all the questions people ask you can use that for your marketing and advertising. So see, I'm already smarter than I thought I was. So when I moved here, I thought, you know what, I'll have some wins. I'll be able to do it through the university, because it was my alma mater, and because I'm a hard worker, and I kind of was smart. I was smarter than I thought I was. I taught Pilates for 2 years through K-State, through other gyms, before I felt like I could open my own. And I did that just to kind of invest and see what the feedback was, because honestly, if the students came and they didn't like it, then I would be foolish to be like, I like it, I'm going to do it. And that's one of those things that it's an investment in yourself and in your future, to take those times and to make sure like your story and your heart matches what you're going to be giving. So once I figured out, okay, people like it, but I'm a little limited on my creative freedom, space, time frames, etc., I got an attorney, and I did oh my gosh, Google. I did everything on Google and YouTube. All the questions and things I had, I was like, because you'll run into things that I can't even put in this video, and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh. So I YouTubed and Googled everything. I would say the basis of which carried me from the moment of conception, of dreaming it up, all the way until this day, I swear to you, is personal development. Because I had a guy, a guy call and ask about naked yoga, because he heard it's good for your self-esteem, and says, let me tell you, he did not care about his self-esteem. He wanted to come see some nudies. And so had I not worked on myself, that could have been very uncomfortable for me, or I could have been like mean to him, or I would have been idiot and tried to do it because I'm trying to please everybody. But you know what? I handled it with tact, and that goes all the way through when the air conditioner breaks. It goes in when you have a new client that's not scheduled and just shows up, and then it goes into people that do show up on time or maybe don't fall through. So everything that has gotten me through every single problem that I've ran into is I have a beautiful brain that knows how to understand things, but being able to be professional and match my my true vision. So let's say somebody comes in and I'm not prepared for them. It's not a good time. I will actually push them away if I'm like, it is not a good time. How would dare you show up? So instead I'm like, hey, I'm so glad you're here. Pull back, Hillary. Take a second. They caught you off guard. So glad you're here. Can I help you? I'm doing something right now, so if it's a short question, I can answer, but if not, how can I reach you later? Or here's my personal contact information. And I would not have come to that without personal development, because I would have been black or white, yes or no. And instead, I want to learn how to meet the needs and really have a servant's heart. The other thing I would say is things that have really carried me through is Tony Robbins, some of his messages, some of Rachel Hollis's messages. have been really profound. I really just want to give you a list. Lists are great, but I'm telling you that it is a big business soup. There is no like, if you follow this order, it'll happen. It's a business soup. But that's why I wanted to start with my intention. I came here, I kind of tested out the clientele a little bit. I will tell you that the university was great and they believed in education, and I have had fitness people in town that think I'm trying to compete against them, which is silly because Pilates, there's not Pilates here and it's not a gym. And so, but I will tell you more, like 70% of people have been so great. So that's where the personal development goes back. I've had a lot of wins, and then I've had a few losses with some collaborations and sharing clientele and stuff. That's a really great way when you're opening. The other thing I did is I went to the PTs and chiropractors and was like, hey, you're really, really important and valuable, and I admire you, and I love that. I do this, which I think would complement what you do, so I don't want to sell you anything, and I don't want anything from you, but just know that I exist, and if I ever run into an issue with a client, I work on muscles and biomechanics as it pertains to movement. You are a doctor, and so anytime I hit my limits, please know I respect you. I did not start that way. I showed up and was like, hey, I teach Pilates, and so when you give people exercises, I can continue it on, so I can help you if you want. And one lesson there is people really like to talk about themselves and like to be in charge and feel good about themselves. So what I was doing is I was like, I'm important, use me. And so they're like, yeah, but I'm important too. So what really helped grow my business is when I was like, how can I help you? What can I do to serve you? How can I use you? Like, I stopped really being like, what can I get from this, but versus what can I give? And it sounds so cliche because everybody says that, but it really changed. And guess what? The second that I stopped trying to take from people, and the more I was like, let me give, let me help you understand, let me help them understand, hey, I have a question that I think you could answer, that's when the doors open. That's when people let their guard down. And I think it's so freaking beautiful. Far as money goes, there's a thing Tony Robbins says that says, if you want to take the island, you got to burn the boat. And so I signed my car and my husband's car and our laptop away for this business loan. And let me tell you what, that was probably the best thing I could have done, because I did not keep one foot on the boat and one foot on the island. I was like, it's all or nothing, girl. And so the days I was tired, and the days that because people are coming to you for energy and fitness, they're like, I'm so excited, and you're like, I'm freaking tired, so you've got to be like, I'm so excited. Had I not done all or nothing, I personally would not have showed up the way I did. I knew I had to make the sell, but not to take their money, but I had to show them that this is such a good place to be despite me being tired. And you know what? It paid off. It freaking paid off. I showed up, and not only that, because I was so genuine and so like, I just want to connect to you. I'm not trying to get you, I'm trying to connect to you. They felt heard, and those have been my most loyal clients. And I say I created a system where I need loyalty. So in a small town, the studio dynamics. In a big town, they can pay as they go, or they can pay for a package. Everybody here, I'm competing against gyms, okay? So gyms have smaller rates for 2-year contracts. So where I wanted to fit the market to be different is I wanted to be that boutique style fitness. I wanted to be specialized. So, but I'm competing against the price range. So I had to go ahead and create a lower price, but I did it without contract, or a lower price than a big city, a higher price than a gym, but I did the incentive of no contracts. So I incentivized them with a little bit of a discount to stay longer. So if they keep recurring, they pay a rate, but if they pay 1 month, take a break, pay 1 month, take a break, or even if they just only do 1 month, then they pay a higher premium. So I incentivize that they come and that they invest in themselves. And the other glorious thing that I knew in my heart to be true, but girl, it hurt, is I did not ever make them sign a contract. And I did that because I said, I want you to choose to want to be here. I think that's the culture in bigger cities, is people pay as they go and they choose to be there. So what it does is it sets up a really big dynamic. Other than that, what people do is they sign up and they feel bad and they need to go. So at first they start excited. So don't let me get you off there. But then 6 months pass and life gets busy. And then it becomes that annoying freaking thing I pay for that I never get to use. And then it creates this whole dichotomy of I don't believe in fitness. So at the core of my being, I wanted people to feel enabled, and I wanted them to feel gifted and excited, and find that self-motivation, and then for us to be the people that are pulling them in instead of pushing them and forcing. And so it's been a good system so far, and we've done nothing but grow, and I'm so grateful. And it was bumpy. So as far as that goes, let's see. So those are some good overall personal dynamics I've used to grow the business, okay? So I didn't trap people. I was nice. I gave it 100%, 110% sometimes. I would say, other important thing to know, your friends and family will love you. They love you, and they're really, really proud of you, but they probably won't show up, okay? And know that that hurt my feelings. It was so sad. I was like, I thought you loved me. And you know what? They do love me, but they weren't doing Pilates before I opened. So why the hell would they do it now? Why would they do it now? So what happens, which has been very beautiful, is I come here and I sell and I create growth, and I'm like, see what, I love it and you can love it too. And then people are like, oh my gosh, I do. I didn't even know I liked it because I'm in a small town. Nobody knows. They're like, oh my gosh, I did. And so then I have these victories, and then I go and tell my family and friends. And since they're not interwoven and connected, they can be there for me. They can be there for me when somebody moves on because they started college again and they can't come, or they move away, or maybe they just need to be closer to their family and they just need more time at home. That when it's sad and I lose somebody, that I can go to my family and they don't take it personally because they're not personally invested in my business. They're personally invested in me. And so that's been great, because then they can be my rock. And then when I have wins, they can be excited for me. But it's been really good. So just know that that's such a gift, and it hurts at first when they're not in there with you all the time understanding. But it is cool to have that separation. And then when you get lost in your business, and then that person isn't coming, like if my husband was at this gym every day, like I would be this gym. And so he's not. And so then when we go somewhere else, it's like, oh, this is my personal life and this is my professional life. And it's actually, I hope he doesn't watch this video because he's going to be like, I told you. It's really good. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the steps that I took to get there. So first thing is, I had the inkling that I could move to a big city and love it and work there and be in a creative flow. But big city is a trade-off. And then a small town, I thought, well, I could be a big fish in a small pond, and I could bring the gift of all this big city stuff here. So I thought, okay, I weighed out the options. I did what Tim Ferriss does, and I did fear setting. What is the worst that could happen if I did this, and if I did this, and what is the best that could happen if I did this and did this? And so I saw personal development and fulfillment through staying and trying to create. And so, and I said, and then again, if I failed, what's the worst that could happen? And fly, that's fine. I'm gonna edit that out. Yeah, so that's what I did. Then I started thinking, okay, I guess I did market testing, but I didn't know that's what it was, because I was like, okay, so don't just, it's one thing for me to be excited about something, but if I can't get other people excited, then I'm just an enthusiast. I'm not a professional, and that's okay. I'm an enthusiast about a lot of things, like comedy specials, but I'm not a comedian. So just really doing that personal development element and feeling what that feels like. And then I saw, okay, then I asked the people, the students in my class, hey, what do you think? And then I started using my stuff and being like, do you think anybody else would like this? Who do you think? So it started provoking thought. Who else would like this? I worked in a big city. I kind of know how this works, but they don't. So I started asking them questions, and then people would say, hey, I want to do this on the base. Can you come do it? I'm sorry, I can't pay you. I took a lot of free events, because when you're like, look at this shiny new thing I have, nobody knows what it is. You have to be able to show them what it is, because they don't understand. So you're going to do a lot of free gigs at first, probably, because you're just sharing your message. And so personal development, I had to work on a good attitude. And then I got infiltrated. The reason I'm still here today and not shut down is because I got contracts as a fly again. I got contracts with a university, and so I had them for a 2-month time period, and they were required to come, and they paid a certain amount. And so the contracts with the university allowed my structure to stay open as I built that community of people that come and go as they please and feel an ease and actually find it to be a really comforting, homey place. Now I have a really good like towny base, and we say towny like the people that stay here regularly, not seasonally. And then I also have that culture of K-State. So that was the hardest part, is getting the two cultures to kind of mesh. They all got along good, but to be able to have one subsystem and another subsystem working in tandem. But if the university wasn't here, I wouldn't have made it the first year. And that's scary. It's so scary. But I needed people. And so the challenge would be, what if I had everybody that started signing your contract, maybe would have helped me. So if you're not in a college town that could do something like this, maybe that's how you go. The hard part is getting somebody to commit to something brand new for a year. And so again, everything has a trade-off. And then I will say, when I did the paperwork, things to get so I tested the thing and then I started the contracts. You have to have an attorney. You should have an attorney. There are things that come up, and then you can just ask them, and it's so comforting and it's so worth it. Even if you don't like have them on file all the time, just to have somebody that you can call. I really highly recommend that. You need insurance for all the paperwork and things. What I did when I located a spot is I got a real estate broker. No, that's not. I got somebody that helps scout out commercial properties, and he actually got me my first month of rent for free. And then he said, you don't get what you don't ask for. And so he asked for these like crazy things that I felt like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't ask for that. That's greedy. And he was like, it's a business. This isn't greedy. This is what people do. So he, I think, gets a commission for getting me in this location, but then I didn't have to pay anything, and I had experts. So I would recommend that. Let's see. So then I got into the space. The space was perfect for me because it was actually really outdated. So the landlords offered to help renovate, and that was such a saving grace for me. I had budgeted to help renovate, but renovations are never what you think they're going to be. So that was really helpful. And then I had to do waivers and client intake. We switched mostly to all digital and online. I'm trying to run the whole business online because I don't want to file paperwork. And I think we're at that age. I also like trees and stuff, so that works very good. And then we're all on the same base. Okay, so then we have clients coming. I'm working on content. So here is my pet freaking peeve with the Pilates industry. I am now applying to be a mentor, but I'm here in a small town and I'm running this business, and I started with one reformer. Well, because of my insight and my love, I started growing it, but I don't have any instructors to help work for me, and there's no city here. Nobody wants to move to Manhattan, Kansas to work in Pilates. Well, just this crazy girl. This is why I think this works in big cities and it's not so much in small cities, and I don't know how to change it, but mark this video today, I'm going to work on it. So I wrote the company. I will tell you if you ask me, but I'm not going to post it in this video. So Pilates Method Alliance is changing a little bit. You have to be comprehensively trained to be a certified trainer. So it goes a little, as far as business standpoint goes, working on my ethics of only hiring professional certified trainers, but I am not allowed to certify anybody because I'm not a certified trainer to train trainers. I am a certified Pilates trainer. But where I was running into is I'm in a city that this doesn't exist. I'm creating something from nothing. I'm educating. I'm hosting all the classes. I'm doing the marketing. I'm paying all the bills, and I need help. So I'm like, hey, who wants to be trained? I do. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of college children, and they're not children. They're just like they're just young. They're young adults. And then I have all these military beautiful wives, but they have kids or they have to be there for their husband. So the only option I am given in this industry is to send them to Kansas City or to Lawrence to get trained. They have to go for multiple weekends and pay hundreds of thousands and up to thousands of dollars. If they want to be certified, now it's thousands of dollars. So here's the deal. Oh, okay, so for me to get a reputable Pilates studio, I have to send people that don't know what this is on a building community to pay thousands of dollars for something they could use sometimes, and leave their kids who they don't have a dad home, or the college students that are already paying all that for college, and then they have to get a hotel. So my dismay is that what am I supposed to do? Am I just supposed to train people the best of my ability and hope it works out? Do I just send them to one mat training? What would work, and the yoga place in town is doing it, is I think their training is $2,400. She is ready and licensed to teach, to create trainers. So yoga is thriving here. So as far as Pilates, I went to ask them how I could do that, and they basically told me no, they'll send somebody. Okay? Multiple companies. Hey, guess what? You'll send somebody, but it's a small town, so I can only get 2 or 3 people, maybe 4 people to sign up. I can teach that because, again, I'm creating the growth for this. But they won't send somebody for 2 or 3 people. So then I have to ask the 2 or 3 people who have babysitters here and who have school here to pay thousands of dollars to travel somewhere and pay all the extra money, but they don't have a babysitter there and they don't have the childcare there. So we keep running to this wall. The people that are invested and willing to pay the money can't afford the hotels and the babysitters to do such, and then the people that can afford it, that have babysitters in here and that can do it here, they won't send because of numbers. So we just keep running into this freaking wall, and that's why I had panic attacks. And so if you are opening a Pilates studio, the Pilates industry is broken, because when I was on the phone with one of the industries, I was like, well, that's okay. So what I'm hearing is, you won't send for 2 or 3 people that I have here because it doesn't make financial sense. Okay, I hear you. I mean, it's like $5,000. And I don't have all the equipment because I'm only been open 2 years, and I'm the only person doing everything, and I'm teaching a lot of people. Okay, so you can't send people here, but then I can't send people there because it costs too much for them to go, and I can't provide enough income for them to make that justifiable because I'm new. So I guess I'm going to shut down, or I guess I'm just going to move to a big city where the culture already exists. This is why Pilates doesn't grow, because what would be helpful is to be able to have them be able to come into a smaller town. So the only option is to do the best you can, getting them up to date on training, or sending them to one training and then just mentoring them. And so I want you to know I am still frustrated. I hope the next time I do a video like this, I have a good answer of how to build your business in a smaller town where the culture doesn't exist, because the current system does not work for us. And I'll tell you what, 2 businesses in Topeka I work for are struggling keeping trainers enthusiastic, keeping them paid, and keeping them excited, because it is just not meant to help. It is not set to help you thrive. It is competitive in big towns and big cities, and it serves them, but it does not serve us. And I just really, I'll figure it out, and I'll try to get back to you on that. Okay, so I started growing, and then I started needing more trainers. I am blessed that I do BAR and TRX, because BAR and TRX have amazing programs for instructor outreach. And so the other classes I have can really thrive and can help, and that's how I've been able to slowly build without me having to do everything all by myself, as I've been able to employ other things for my success. And then I've got out in the community and done things for free, and I've also gone to, for example, I'll go to like the school, the college, and I'll go to like the professors, and I'll offer my services complimentary, because I want to create value for them, and I also want to be able to give them things. Maybe you don't know what you don't know. And so as I go on, I just wish you and then all of the luck on doing this. I was gonna say, I just wish things that'll help too is you can't give what you don't have. So I have a budget of where my goals need to make for my money, and so I have to do that first, and then after I'm feeling like I can see ahead, and clients will always cancel and new people will walk in the door, so it kind of evens itself out. Then I look, okay, I'm gonna afford this, so I can give my time. So what I don't do is I say I'll give my time at the expense of my income. I will make sure I'm hitting my markers. Please hit my markers, and if I don't, then I will rise up to the occasion, because everything inside of you wants to win, and then whatever time I can go out, and then eventually those things have return. But you just have to know that they probably won't for a while, and that's what all the business books and everything say. So I would just recommend reading. There's a book called Hug Your Customers. I feel like that's been really helpful for me to stay open, and I love what I do, and I'm so happy and tired and excited and all the things that you get when you do the things. And so please know I'm here as a friend during the kind of crazy times. And this is Pilates, but like, I mean, I'm sure any business. So yeah, if you have any feedback or questions, you can leave them down there. I just try to speak from the heart. I want to give you a perfect list if you do these steps, but I'm telling you, sis, it ain't a perfect list. It's just the best you can. So work on your heart and work on your soul, and work on your craft, and then just do your best and things will come. So I'm speaking from 2 years. Things are going good, and I'm not crying about rent anymore. And I just believe that if you dream and you work hard, it'll come for you too. So and just a little, I had a 2-year-old when I opened. Me and my husband's marriage was rocky. I had I didn't even have any money in my savings. I quit a bar job. I didn't have any money. I was working Pilates part-time and bar part-time so that I could gain clients, but then also work. So for what it's worth, I was not in a good position to open a business. I was not secure. I was not even close to being financially secure. I was not just me. I had a 2-year-old. Yep, 2-year-old. And my partner was not supportive. He was like, that's so risky. Like, why would you do that? That's not a good time. And so I'm again, speaking from the heart, if I can do it, you can totally do it. And there's nothing but the clouds and stars and stuff to keep you going. So enjoy your friends, enjoy your personal development, and hopefully I'll make another video about the process and help you grow the best you can. Thanks.